Okay guys, I'm going to do the video on rice, the demonstration on how to do rice. I'm going to make the rice in the rice cooker today because I'm going to do fried rice. In fried rice you need day-old rice. That means you need rice that has had a chance to dry out a little bit. It is kind of like a lot of recipes like casseroles and one dish meals that the fried rice would be like. So we put a lot of things in it. There's no set recipe. There's a lot of recipes out there, but you can kind of do what you want. And it is similar to the chicken chow mein, but we're using our starch is going to be rice. And some of the ingredients are very similar, but it's a little less spicy and a little more controlled on what you put in it. So I hope you enjoy it. I'll be back. I have the 4 cups of rice. This is just regular long grain rice. I just purchased it from Publix, long grain white rice. It's a good staple rice. There's other kinds. There's jasmine and balsamic and different seasonings and all that. There's the parboil and the pre-cooked rice. This is just the basic long grain rice that's very much used. So the first thing, I'll get over here to the sink, and I'm going to rinse it several times. Now, I want to rinse it until the water pretty much runs clear, okay? So if you can see, my first rinsing, the water I don't need this anymore. I washed and I rinsed and I drained my rice, and I used a sieve to strain it out. I used long grain rice, and you can see I just used a bag of rice from Publix. It's enriched. So I was taught originally not to rinse my rice because you rinse the enrichment off, but if you don't rinse your rice, it is very sticky. It'll come out not as nice, as fluffy. So I'm kind of leveling my rice out in the rice cooker, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour enough water in, and then I'm going to touch the top of the rice like this, and the water should come up about to my first knuckle. So I'm going to pour the water so I see. Okay, kind of shake it to make sure it's even. And I put my finger on top, and it is not to my first knuckle. So I'm going to put a little bit more water. And now I'm going to look, and it's still not to my top knuckle. So just a little bit more water. Hopefully that's not too much now. Perfect. Right to my top knuckle. Now I saw another video where if you touch the bottom of the pot, the water should come up to your second knuckle, and that's exactly what mine's doing. So either way would be fine. So I always touch the top of the rice, and I'm going to look and see that I definitely do not have too much water. Put a nice tight sealing lid on, and I'm going to push this button down and make sure it goes down. And I'm going to push this aside because we are going to let it cook. Now, obviously, this is Thursday, and I'm actually cooking this rice on Friday. So right now, what I'm doing today is my mince in piece, my mince in place. This will be on your test. My put in place. And I'm going to get everything ready so when I actually do the cooking tomorrow, it will go snap, snap, snap. I'm also cooking the rice a day ahead because for fried rice, it is better to use day-old rice or cold rice. And so it's a recipe, I think, probably for true fried rice, was developed as a way to use leftover rice. Now, if you were doing a rice bowl, you could use the fresher rice. It's the frying process of the rice that I think needs the day-old rice. Okay? So let me get and keep on working on my mince in piece.
But I don't like the skin necessarily my rice or my stir fry. And just cut that off.
There. And there's a lot of chicken. I'm gonna make a lot of fried rice tomorrow. Hi guys, I'm back. I'm here to do the second part. Now remember yesterday I cooked my rice, it's over there, and I got all my things cut up and ready to go. So now I am going to start with my fried rice. And I'm doing chicken fried rice. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my oil, some oil, about 2 tablespoons of oil in the wok. This is a wok. It's carbonated steel. It's kind of weathered and been used a lot, but it's still perfect. It is, the theory is as you cook on the bottom and those things get done, you can kind of push them up the side. With just a little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of complete seasoning. And they've been in the refrigerator overnight. Okay, the sizzle, 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 sizzle. Anything with now what I'm smelling now is a little bit of the spices, the complete seasoning, and just the smell of the chicken. And I seasoned it overnight, so the chicken will be very flavorful. And notice how I'm stirring it. I'm not letting it set and necessarily fry. I'm stirring it constantly. And I do that by breaking it in half and taking a look. Yeah, it is done. And I'm going to put the chicken in a bowl on the side here. And I'm now going to add my onions, and my carrots, because those two things take a little longer to cook. Red peppers. And you want to cook this until the onions are pretty much caramelized. And actually, the caramelization of the onions is what's going to give the rice more of a brown look, because we don't use enough soy sauce to make it brown. But what will make it brown is there are bouquets that you can put. They're just a coloring, and sometimes you see those in the store. And now I am going to add my cabbage. The heat's too high. I should have opened this up a little bit better. We can add our chicken back in now. I'm gonna taste the carrot and the fried one. No pea pods. Come on. And I'm gonna let it set for a minute. Wonderful. Very good. I'm going to let it set for a minute, and I'm now going to do eggs. I'm going to do 4 eggs, so that's a lot of, what do you call it? Fried rice. Making a well in the middle. I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to turn it up to high. I'm going to take my scrambled eggs, and scramble them. And I'm going to pour them right in there to cook. Well, that's cooking. I'm going to move everything over here so I can move my rice over. What you're going to do is you're going to start adding your rice, about 5 cups. So I'm going to add 2 cups at a time, just to make it a little easier on me. And then you're going to mix. So the rice is really mixed in with the vegetables and the chicken. Okay, so we got 2 more bowls, 2 more cups. Remember, you want your ratio to be pretty much more rice. See how good that looks, and you might want to taste it. And if you need to add some more complete seasoning, just don't go too crazy with it. You could, at the table when you eat it, you could add a hot sauce if you want. I make sure all the rice is broken up. Okay, at this point, I'm going to add the last of my complete seasoning and the last of my soy sauce. And just keep stirring it and making sure I don't have any clumps of white rice in there. and I'm gonna take a taste. I try to get a taste of like just the rice, not the chicken. There. Very good. That is amazing. I hope you try it. The recipe's posted on your website, on the Teams, okay?